welcome to this week's review of We Own the Night, starring Joaquin Phoenix and Mark Wahlberg.
What's the matter? You want something?
Touch me.
You had to hit that spot. Of all the places, you got to come to my place.
That's where the drug dealer's been seen.
Nice friends you got there.
No, Poppy's not my friend.
What are we supposed to do? Compromise the whole thing?
What, you want me to come into your place?
Sooner or later, either you're gonna be with us, or you're gonna be with the dealers. This is like a war out there.
This movie did look somewhat decent at first glance, but I wasn't sure how good it was going to be. And a lot of people started making statements about this movie and American Gangster. They were going to be like this year's Departed because they have some sort of police or crime theme in them. Well, I can tell you this right now. This is no Departed. It's not even close. The Departed is the Michael Jordan of crime cop movies, and even try to tag another movie with that title, it's pretty much going to leave you the feeling of complete disappointment. The Departed is going to be a tough film to live up to. I would compare this movie to watching paint dry. There is nothing that happens in this movie that you don't pretty much expect way ahead of time, with the exception of 1 to maybe 2 scenes in the movie. This was truly paint-by-numbers filmmaking, nothing original, and it felt like a cheap imitation of many other movies made before it. It's like they just spliced a bunch of other films together to make this one, and I have no idea how they got such a great cast for such a mediocre script. To land such actors like Robert Duvall and Joaquin Phoenix for this movie is pretty surprising. The movie starts out, and I was almost totally bored within the first 30 minutes. And once the movie's about an hour in, it's almost a point of no return. The bottom line is the story's uninteresting, and I knew it was going to happen at least 10 minutes in advance, with maybe one exception. And this was probably one of the least gripping movies that I've seen in a long time. There was just no suspense for me. The characters weren't very interesting or likable, and I really felt nothing for them in this movie. This was like the Tin Man of this year's movies. It just had no heart. And sure, it tries to pull at your heartstrings sometimes, but it just didn't work for me this time around. I love these actors and many other movies they've done in the past, but for some reason, in this movie, it completely missed the mark, at least in my opinion. This is also one of the few movies I've ever seen that the shaky cam did annoy me, and normally it doesn't bother me that much. And this movie should have been called Cliché, because it has all of them in there. This movie was almost completely predictable, from the beginning to the end. And for a 2-hour movie, I felt like I just watched the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy. It felt that long. And most of you who see my reviews in the past know, I almost never complain about the length of a movie. But this movie just dragged on and on. It was like they had half a script, and they stretched it to make a full feature film. And this movie had at most 45 minutes to an hour of story, and they stretched it to last 2 hours. And it truly made 2 hours feel like 4. And by the time I left the theater, I was wiped out. The ending was predictable and weak. And overall, this is a very weak film with little or no surprises. I know some people think this movie's okay, but I truly believe this is a completely forgettable movie with very little staying power. And I think it'll make a pretty quick exit from the top 10. For my overall rating, I give We Own the Night 1.5 stars.
You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
Post your comments below on what you thought of this movie. If you'd like to rate and review a movie, you can do so at www.yourmovieratings.com. At this site, you can upload a video review or even a text review of any movie ever made. If you subscribe to my channel, you'll be notified immediately when my latest movie review is uploaded. Also, if you'd like to see some of the latest info regarding my channel, then check out my website at MrBlacksReviews.com. And if you made a cool video, or you want to share your YouTube channel with other members, then post them in the YouTube section. These forums are dedicated to everything from new movie releases to your very own YouTube channel. And don't forget, I'll be giving away DVDs at the forums, including the following titles: Transformers, Harry Potter, The Simpsons, Hot Fuzz, and 4 DVDs of the Movie 300. So join the forums for a chance to win any one of these DVDs. And finally, if you want to see my list of upcoming movie reviews, then just go to my forums and click on the calendar. This has all the movies that I'll be reviewing in the future. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you again next week.